Hello, welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to do an update on my 20 in 2020 project pan. I said in my intro video that I wasn't sure whether or not this was going to go up every 2 months or every 3 months, but I figured I am not feeling that creative. I'm having trouble coming up with other videos, but also I have some good progress. So I think it's time to show you my progress on my products. So I'm going to start with my two non-makeup products, and these are both nail polishes. One is a top coat by OPI and one is the natural nail base coat by OPI. And hopefully you can see, let's see. You can see I'm making some good progress. So that is the natural nail base coat here. And on the top coat, we have this here, which is looking pretty good. I am trying to remember to paint my nails at least once a week. I don't always remember or do well, and sometimes I will get halfway through my nail routine and forget to put a top coat on, which is I think the reason why I'm not seeing as much progress on this. Am I the only person in the world that I feel like it takes forever to paint my nails because I want to rush through it so fast, and then inevitably I always end up ruining my polish because I don't wait long enough to put the final top coat on? I don't know. Let me know if you have any tips or tricks. I am a nail novice and I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to nail stuff. So I'm trying, I'm doing okay, but I do need to step it up, I think. Okay, moving into the actual makeup, I have my first empty, which is a primer. I didn't have much of this primer left in the intro, but this is the NYX Soft Focus Primer, and you can see in here a shiny, beautiful pan, and it is done. I didn't, when I first got this primer, I didn't really like it. I got it for $1 on clearance at Target, and it comes with a sponge, and I was using it to press the primer into my skin because it is a pore filling primer, very silicone-y. And it made me feel like it was too thick, I think. So what I ended up doing was using a flat top kabuki brush and kind of buffing it into my skin, which made the product last longer. I think I used a little less product doing that, but also it ended up working much better for me than the sponge application method. So I did end up enjoying this in the end, but it's not something that I ever would repurchase. I don't even know if they sell this still. I love a good pore filling primer, but this one was definitely not my favorite. My next face primer was a Hocus Pocus Illuminating Face Primer, and as you can see here, we were here at the intro and we've only moved down just a little bit. So this is a primer that I absolutely love. I've been panning, you'll see in a second, an illuminating foundation, the Loreal Lumi, and I don't like to pair a illuminating base with that kind of shiny of a foundation. I've used this about 12 times, and the 12 times that I've used it, the first couple of times I was using it as a base, and it's great for that. I love this primer, but the way that I found that I really enjoyed wearing it lately is mixing it in with my Tarte foundation. This foundation is it's better than the Lumi one, but at times my skin can be a little too dry for it, and it's almost a little too dark for me right now, which is why I don't have a ton of progress on it. So what I've been doing is pouring a little bit of this primer here into the cap of this product and then mixing it up with my finger and dotting it on my face, and it helps it sheer out so much so that it doesn't look too dark, and also it gives that it's a little bit more of a matte foundation, and it gives my skin a little bit more glow. So I really like it that way. I just haven't been reaching for it just because honestly I've been focused on my Lumi foundation. So I will get into this very soon, and hopefully it will go pretty quickly once I start wearing this foundation often. Not a lot of progress yet, but I am looking forward to being able to use this regularly. So let's talk about these foundations. Foundation, the L'Oreal Lumi foundation, the True Match Lumi. So this is the one that I said I've been using. I am trying to finish this up like crazy. I do not like this foundation on my skin. The more I use it, the more frustrated I get with it. So we're up here, we're down here. It's pretty much been the only thing I've used for the most part. There are a couple of occasions that I've let myself wear other foundations, but honestly, for the most part, it's been this guy. And I've even tried in an attempt to use it up more and more. I have been at the end of the day, it doesn't last in my skin. So sometimes when I come home and if I've had a long day and I just want to play in makeup again, I will put this on again at the end of the day just to kind of try to use it up too. I'll be glad when this is gone. I will not repurchase this, but yeah, this is where we are. And so far it's going, it's just not my favorite at all. Alright, back to this Tarte foundation that I was just telling you how I like to pair it with the other primer. I have used this 5 times so far, so not a lot of progress. I actually do have a little bit of weight progress. I think it went from 170.2 grams to 169.1 grams, so not bad, but I do look forward to being able to use this more. Now that I've figured out now that I figured out that I can mix that primer in and kind of sheer it out a little bit more, I'm thinking what I might do is give myself a month where I just use this guy and take a break from the Lumi foundation, because honestly, I need one at this point. So I think what I'm gonna do is in the month of March, I'm gonna work on this guy and then maybe go back to that Lumi foundation in April. But yeah, I think I just need a little bit of a break. I do like this foundation. It is a little bit, my skin is very finicky right now for some reason. It's way more dry than it ever has been at this point in the year. So I am going to have to definitely prime my skin correctly to use this, but it is a beautiful foundation and I do want to use it up. And this thing is beefy and bulky, and I think it will take me a really long time to go through. So I think maybe focusing on it for a full month, seeing what kind of progress I make, will be a good kind of, maybe just give me a mental break from the other one, but also maybe kind of motivate me in the future to kind of really rev like my engine up and actually like use this one, because I'm honestly intimidated that I might not get through this foundation quickly, and I'm almost afraid to reach for it because I think it really will be a beast to try to pan. Moving into powders, I have my Fit Me Loose powder, and hopefully you can see here, we were here at the intro, now we're here, and same with this side, intro, first update. I've been steadily reaching for this, usually, sometimes to set my whole face, but sometimes even if I'm not setting my whole face with this, I do try to set my under eyes with this. This is a beautiful powder, no complaints from me at all, and I really enjoy it. I do have a powder in my New Decade project pan that I haven't really touched at all, so I think what I might do is kind of use this only in the month of March, only for like my under eyes, and using the other powder to powder my whole face, because I really need to pay the other powder some attention. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to pan 3 powders, but I did, so I gotta do some rotating this month. The next powder I was working on was my Prep Set and Glow from Milani, and my goal on this one is to hit pan. At the intro, this powder looked pretty much like new, and it may look like new right here, but hopefully, maybe I can show you on the screen. Hopefully you can see that we're getting a little bit of a dip in the product. I am using this occasionally. It's not something I reach for every day. Again, with that Lumi foundation, I don't like it. The way it looks on my skin, I think it's a little too loomy. It makes me look old. It looks heavy, loomy, and old, like makes my skin look older all at the same time. So I've been trying to mattify it, thinking that might be what's making me look older, or making my skin not look so great in texture. But then again, I do like to look dewy, so I don't get why it looks so heavy. But this guy has been, it's a lightweight powder, but I have just honestly not been reaching for it as much because I don't like that powder, and it's just so much easier to pack on that Fit Me Loose powder over the top with a like sponge. I just like that look better. So hopefully as I start to use the Tarte foundation, this will become way more accessible for me, because I think this powder actually will pair really well with that Tarte foundation. I haven't really tried it yet with it, but I'm pretty sure it will. This is a really good powder. I prefer to reach for loose powders over pressed ones, which is kind of my motivation for a let's hit pan, and then in the future I can work on finishing this up and kind of get it out of my collection, because I just don't think it's a necessity for me, even though it's a really good powder. Okay, moving into blush. I have 2 blushes in this project pan, and the first one is this one here from Tarte. This is like a really old like Black Friday find from like, I want to say like 2016 or so, and I am working on hitting pan here in this blush. It looked brand new pretty much at the intro, even though I have worn this a ton in the past, and like I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I feel like I'm starting to see some wear on the product. This blushes are insanely, yeah, you can kind of see that, right? Maybe. And blushes are insanely hard to pan, and I actually have no idea how deep this pan is, so I have a feeling this is gonna take me all year before I kind of see some pan, but we're just gonna go with it. I'm enjoying it. It's a beautiful color. It lasts a decent amount of time. I don't know if it's the like, I don't know if it's my favorite blush in the world, but it is a nice like peachy blush, and it works for me day to day. So I'm using this. I'm gonna keep using it, but no pan in sight as of right now. My next blush was a Lancome little, this is kind of a mini, I guess, in the shade Rose Fresque, and I have some exciting pan for you. Are you ready? So at the intro, I showed you that I had a little bit of wear over here. You couldn't really see it unless I held it up like this, and you could kind of see a little bit of pan, like side pan, where it was starting to create a dip. And I have been wearing a lot of cool tone looks this month, or the past 2 months, because this project so far, we have not quite 2 full months of progress, but you know, I filmed my intro in early January and it is later in February, not the end of February yet. So here we are. It is looking good. I mean, like, I technically have hit a goal on this. My goal is to hit pan, and I would say that's pan. Although I do think that I might keep this in for a little bit longer and just work on expanding that pan, because it is a really nice blush. I purposely put like a warm tone kind of blush in, and this is my cool tone blush, and I'm not quite done with my cool tone colors yet, so I think I'm gonna keep reaching for this, but I'm really excited. I have pan on a blush already this year. That's really, really good. All right, and one last blush that technically I'm using it for an eyeshadow, but this is coming from my Stila Perfect Me Perfect Hue Tan Deep palette. And I'm working on this blush right here, and hopefully you'll be able to see I got a little dip going on right there in the center, because I've used this mostly with a like packing brush, and I pack it all over my lid, and then I get a like blending brush and kind of use it very lightly to like blend out the edges of it, and then I go on top with like some other shades that I've been working on in project pans. It's a beautiful, really beautiful color. It reminds me of that, it's not quite as pink as like Love Letter in the Modern Renaissance palette, but this is what it looks like here as an eyeshadow, so it's very deep. I know that I'm neither tan nor deep, but these colors really spoke to me when I saw this in like TJ Maxx one time, and it's really beautiful as an eyeshadow, and I'm really enjoying it. So no pan here yet, but I think, so full disclosure, I am working on my Modern Renaissance palette right now, and the color that I'm most drawn to right now is Love Letter. So this one is kind of taking a like back seat to that for now. I think I'm gonna work on hitting pan in Love Letter for the meantime, and then by the end, or you know, probably in about a month or two, I'll pick this back up, because I really enjoyed wearing it, and I do think that I can, once I start using it again, I think I can hit pan on this relatively quickly, probably in another month to 2 months. So I think by the middle of the year, this will be, hopefully have hit goal on this one already, but I am, like I said, gonna focus on my Modern Renaissance palette for a little bit. Okay, moving into my highlights. The first one here is from my ABH Glow Kit, and I've been working on hitting pan in the shade Starburst on here. This pan looked pretty new last time you saw it, because it was my least used shade in this palette, and hopefully you can see that we have a really good dip going. So in the intro, I said that I really wanted to kind of not only hit pan on this, but get a feel for how to wear pinks like this a little bit more often, because I'm such a gold tone. I wear gold so much more often than I wear like pink tones like this. And I have to say, I really, really, really enjoyed this highlight. It's beautiful. I feel much more comfortable in this kind of highlight now that I've worn it so much recently. And so I'm just loving this palette altogether. I've actually been reaching into like some of these butterscotch and marshmallow shades a little bit too. And yeah, it's just a really nice palette. I really love it. And this shade has been a true pleasure to use, so I'm excited to keep using this. I do think it will take a good bit of time before I hit pan, because let me see if I can show you. As you can see, these pans are not shallow, they are pretty deep, and so yeah, it might take a little while, but man, is that shade gorgeous or what? I really like it so far, so yeah. So we'll just keep using that one and keep going, and we'll just see how long this one takes me to hit pan on it. The next highlighter in my project is my Laura Geller Diamond Dust Highlight. I love this little thing. I have not used it as much as I want to, honestly, because I've been wearing a lot of eyeshadow, and I tend to wear this highlight when I wear less eyeshadow. For some reason, I like it as like a very natural, like playful thing when I have like a heavy cheek color and then like this beautiful like shimmery pink kind of to white gold highlight going on. So this one is one that I have not used enough yet. Hopefully you can see that shift. It's gorgeous. I do look forward to being able to wear it a little bit more, but so far I am reaching for it semi-regularly, but not to the point where I'm like really determined. I know I can do a lot better, but yeah, this one is a beautiful highlight. I kind of tell myself like, you got all year, so like you don't need to rush through this one necessarily. So that might be a little bit why I'm slower on this one. Okay, the next product, the infamous Ka-Brow. I've been complaining about, I've been working on this product for so long. It's still not done. I was really hoping by this update it would be done, and as you can see, holy cow, it's not done. I have so much more pan in this than I did last time, even though last time there was definitely a sizable pan. This product, it gets harder and harder to use because it's drying up as it's like disappearing on me. So I am going to try to hydrate this one more time. I'm gonna try to use it up. Hopefully this will be done by the next update. Oh my gosh. I literally am not kidding you when I say I've been working on this for over 2 years. Over 2 years, it's taken me this long, and I don't just use this in my brows, I use it in my hairline. I'm not using it today, but I typically take a nice flat top little brush and work it into my hairline, and I still haven't worked through this in over 2 years. So I'm shocked, but we're still working on that one. Next up is my Lorac Behind the Scenes Eyeshadow Primer. And this one, in the intro, we weighed 7.7 grams, and now we are weighing 6.9 grams. So we got a little bit of progress. This is one that I'm doing okay with wearing. I've worn it almost like 24, 25 times. So not bad number-wise, but I do think that I could be reaching for this more often, especially when you consider that this was in the project for almost 2 full months. I feel like that's 25 times is what I should be reaching for in like 1 month, because considering I wear makeup pretty often. So not the best. I honestly forget, because last year I panned a lot of concealers as eye primers, and so I keep forgetting to reach for this, especially because I already have to put concealer on my eyes anyways, because I have really dark inner corners here. So I need to do a better job of remembering to reach for this, so it will be done. I think I can get it done. If I get serious about this one, I can probably get this done hopefully by the halfway through the year. So I really like that. I'm gonna try to do better with that one. The next product I have is my Duo Lash Adhesive, and at the beginning we weighed 6.8 grams. Now we're at 6.7 grams. So only 0.1 grams. I have worn lashes 10 times, which again isn't great when I think about the fact that this is almost 2 full months. I have used one of these up in the past, and I thought I remember it going so much more quickly, but maybe it's the fact that I'm not wearing lashes as often as I was back then. I don't know, it feels like I wear them just as much, but maybe I'm not. So I need to do a little bit better at wearing lashes a little bit more often, but this is a great lash adhesive. It's just taken me a little while to get through. Next up is my Natural Matte palette from Too Faced, and I am trying to hit pan in the shade called Heaven here. This is the matte cream shade in the palette, and hopefully you can see I have a little bit of a dip going, but we have no pan yet. This is a very tightly packed shade, and it's gonna take me a while. I'm not really rushing through it, honestly. I'm not like overusing it. It's just something that I use before I do like a more complicated eyeshadow look. I try to reach on into this and set my eyelid and eyeshadow primer kind of thing. So I need to do a little bit better. But so far I have used this 30 times, so not bad. All right, moving into my last 3 products. I'm really excited to show you all of these. They're all marked on the same sheet of paper, so I'm gonna talk about them, and then I'll put a picture up of the progress so that you can see it a little bit better. I am so excited. So I think I'll start with, let's do this one first. This is my Benefit Highbrow. This is a little cream pencil that most people, I think it's marketed to be used as here, I don't know if you can see it, as a little pencil to help you kind of carve out your brows. It's a little too pinky tone to do that for me all the time, especially since I wear a lot of warm tone eyeshadows. But the thing about this is, I've actually really been loving it to kind of carve out my like contour. It's really nice. So what I've been doing is using my cream contour, blending that in, and then I go underneath with my cream highlight here, and I kind of leave it more like prominent, and then I go over the top with my foundation, and it creates this really beautiful, like intensifies that shadow that my cheek needs. I'm not wearing it today. It was a perfect opportunity to, but I had already set all my products aside, so today I kind of used a lot of products that are in my Shop My Stash that I haven't really gotten to use that much because I've been so focused on my painting products. So yeah, but this, let me tell you, it's really nice for that reason, and I don't really see myself having a problem this year getting through that. So I'll show you in a minute what the progress is. But before I do that, let me also show you this guy. This is an Italia mauve lip liner, and hopefully you'll remember that this was like a full-size lip liner at the intro, and we so far have used so much of this guy. I'm so excited. Again, give me 1 second and I'll show you on paper all of these like magical progress. And then the last one I'm going to show you on paper here is a lipstick in the shade Bound. So I have one in the shade Skimpy that I want to show you. Like at the intro, I believe like it looked like this. So if I hold the tube like this, you can kind of see the lipstick right there, right? Let me show you this guy. Now this is Bound, and you can't see the lipstick inside the tube anymore. So let me show you this. Are you ready? Look at that progress. I am so pumped. I kind of define myself as Delin, someone who's really good at panning concealer, pretty good at panning powders, decent at panning highlight, or hitting pan on highlight, and not so bad at hitting pan on blush. But when it comes to lipstick, also very good at gloss. When it comes to lipstick though, I'm awful, and I feel like I'm bad at like eyeshadow and lipstick, but I'm so shocked that this one is already like almost done. I think that if I keep remembering to reach for it, I've been wearing it both on my lips and on my cheeks like as a cream blush. I love doing that with lipsticks. So that is, I think that I can have it done by the next update. So let me show you on paper here. So intro, we were here with the lipstick, we are now here. Then we have intro with the highbrow, here with the highbrow now, so that's not bad at all. And then we have intro for the lip liner, and then update 1. Here we are at the 2, kind of not quite 2 full months of progress, but still, I have no doubt now that I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna finish a lip liner this year, I'm gonna finish a lipstick this year, and I'm probably gonna finish that cream contour stick if I can just keep with it, but I'm so stinking excited. I think this is really good for, you know, not quite 2 full months of progress. I'm pretty proud so far. So, okay, I almost forgot this. So in the intro, I did a collab video with Day from Day Explains It All, and she did her 20 and 2020 as a like fun, like she split her products into seasons, and she's picking like so many products, I think 5 per season to focus on. And so I didn't quite structure my project just like hers, but I did pick 4 additional palettes that I wanted to focus on during 3 months along. So January, February, and March, I wanted to focus on this here, and my goal was to use this 10 times. So far, I've used it 5 times, which isn't great. I need to step it up a little bit, but I've really been working hard on panning some like single eyeshadows here and there, and also I have another Modern Renaissance palette in another project. So I've kind of been slacking off mostly because I'm panning so much other stuff, but this has been a real pleasure to reach for so far. I have to say, this was a newer palette to me when I started this year because I picked this up in like November, I think, and I didn't really use it much at the end of the year because I was trying to use and enjoy some products that I wanted to use before sending them home and putting them in storage. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. I have like 2 new favorites in this palette now. So Dragon Bite has been a favorite from the word go. But also this shade here in Cyclone, this is a shade that I think you tend to find a lot in like palettes. Like a lot of these have these like burgundy shifts, but this one's a little bit more orange in undertone. I think they call this one a duochrome, and this one has become such a favorite for me, and I love this. Like typically these are shades that I roll my eyes at in other palettes just because I get a little tired of seeing so many warm kind of reddish orange bronzy type shadows, but this one is one that I've absolutely fallen head over heels for in this palette because it's so well done and it's so beautiful. So this one is so far so good. Like I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to use it for 1 more month, so in March I need to reach for this 5 times. And then moving into April, I am going to switch over to start using my Norvina palette for my spring palette kind of selection. And this is what, again, that palette looks like. You've probably seen it all over the internet. I really enjoy this palette, so I'm really excited to get a chance to reach for this when it starts to, the weather hopefully starts to warm up here a little bit more. So yeah, this one, again, I'm going to try to reach for 10 to 15 times. I don't think I'm going to do an update in March, so it will probably be April by the time you see this. So by the time you see my next update, hopefully I will have already reached for this a couple times at the very least. But yeah, I will show you and check in those kind of numbers later on. But that is everything so far for this first update. Make sure you say hello in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.